Walking through the Driveline Hitting Assessment can really be split into two main pieces. We're splitting things into high performance and skill. So what are the athletes' capacity for producing their skill in their sport, and how do they actually express that capacity in the context-rich environment of the swing? So any athlete that comes to Driveline for a hitting assessment will start by getting a movement screen where we look at the range of motion of specific joints. They'll be run through a standardized warm-up that allows us to control for all the variables that will have an impact on outputs and performance later in the assessment, and then go through an ArmCare assessment, testing the shoulder strength and internal and external rotation, scaption, and grip to get a look at how the musculature around the shoulder complex is contributing to both the swing and the throw. From there, the athlete will take swings to get hot and then get ready to go swing in the launch pad, our state-of-the-art motion capture lab. This motion capture report will give us a really good idea of the hitter's current grades in the big three: bat speed, smash factor, and swing decisions. So how fast does the athlete swing the bat? What is their current expression of bat-to-ball skills? And how well do they make swing decisions that allow them to fuse the right pitches to swing at in the right counts? This motion capture data, paired with a batted ball report, gives us a really good idea of how to create a plan to improve not only the athlete's kinematics or positions they get to in the swing, but also the bat path to maximize the amount of bat speed they can put in and the amount of contact that they can make with that bat speed. After the athlete assesses in the launch pad, they'll go right over to the high performance lab, where they'll be assessing a series of general physical preparation tests to assess what their general capacity is for force production, completely devoid of the skill. The athlete will perform the counter movement jump, the squat jump, and the plyo push-up to get a really good idea of both upper body and lower body power. So how quickly they can step on the gas pedal and produce as much force as possible. These rate of force development tests are our biggest correlator to outputs for hitters in the specific skill. So bat speed, throwing velocity, and acceleration sprint speed especially. The athlete will also do a 10-to-5 hop test, which especially for hitters, gives us a really good idea of their reactive strength, which correlates extremely well to top end speed. The last test the athlete will perform is the isometric mid-thigh pull, which gives us a really good idea of the hitter's absolute strength, so how much total force that they can produce with no time constraint. The next day in the athlete meeting, the hitter will be meeting with the trainer to get a really clear plan based on this objective data of how they can improve both in the skill-specific aspects of the swing, like bat speed, smash factor, and swing decisions, but also on the high performance side, improving how generally athletic they are so they can further apply themselves to become a better baseball player. So based on just seeing an athlete on the force plates, we can predict within 1 to 2 miles an hour of bat speed how fast they're going to swing. So if there's a big gap between their predicted and their actual bat speeds, we can really decide how to allocate their training economy towards being more on the skill side or more on the general physical preparation side and make big gains while having a really clear idea of what the athlete is trying to work on. After the athlete meeting, the hitter will go and work with the hitting trainer in the cage in what we call a swing design, where they take the objective data and then apply some subjective coaching and allow the athlete to feel out some of the things that they just learned in the meeting. This is the part of the assessment process that is really much more of an art form, but it's still based on the objective data that we collected in the launch pad and on the force plates. By far, the best application of the Driveline Hitting Assessment is to get a really clear picture on an athlete's longitudinal roadmap throughout their career of where they are, where they've been, and where they're going. So the more times you collect this data, the more reliable it becomes, and the more certain of decisions you can make based off of it. So whether an athlete is starting their off season, getting ready to go to spring training, or hitting the all-star break and looking for a quick check-in, we can have all these points in time to find out, hey, when we were at our best, where were we, how do we get back there, and how do we go even further? This 2-day assessment process makes it really easy for athletes that are in gym and all over the country to come in, get an objective idea of where their skills lie compared to themselves and their peers, and get a really well put together, data-driven plan that allows them to move forward and continue to improve. At the end of the hitting assessment, the hitter is going to walk out with a really clear picture of where they are, where they've been, and where they're going, and some battle-tested experience in the cage of applying those concepts to their actual swing to get better in the game.